What's up guys, and welcome back to another sporting video. Before we get started in today's video, I'd like to ask you guys to please hit that subscribe button down below there, or if you're watching this from any social media, make sure you click on the link that I've sent on, because just so you're up to date with all future uploads. February is a massive month for rugby and I'm doing a lot of videos and I want you guys to be up to date and subscribe for it. But enough about that, let's get to today's topic. As you can see, today's topic is, are rugby players playing for money or for pride? Now, in South Africa this means quite a lot of things, because players come and go and leave. Now, a lot of people have opinions that they leave for the better money, because our exchange rate is different. I think for £1 it is like £16. So that's quite a big difference. But also the problem that we find in South African rugby is that the quota system affects players, and players don't get to play for their country. So that's also a reason why they're leaving. So that's why I say pride or money. In South African rugby, when you're watching a sports documentary, we often see how rugby players, when they're born and when they're growing up through their lives, all they want to do is play and wear the green and gold, wear the Springbok badge on their jersey. That's what they talk about, that's what they dream about. But as the day and age has changed, you don't see that as much anymore, because some players see better opportunity for money. They get more playing overseas, they still get to play rugby, so why not take that opportunity? Now obviously it's not the case for all rugby players, and that is where I bring in what I just said about the quota system. Unfortunately, with the quota system within South African rugby, a certain amount of black and coloured players have to be within the team. Now they're not as strict on this as they were about a year or two ago, but it is still a factor. So players miss out on opportunities, and good players unfortunately leave the country due to these issues. If we look at rugby players now playing for other countries, for South Africa's point of view, we look at CJ Stander, Ireland. Obviously pretty much raised there, but still, it's a name. Rory Cockett, he played for the Sharks, played for France. Strauss, we all remember him with the big beard for the Lions. He was also the captain of the Lions, playing for Scotland. Brad Barrett, he played for the Sharks as well, left and is now playing for England. All these players we're losing because they've either not had the opportunity. For example, if I look at Rory Cockett, he deserved to play for the Springboks. He was a nippy player, he was a cocky player and deserved a spot. He was a typical scrum half that we all say, hey, that's a cheeky bugger, but man is he good. And I was sorry when he left, because I felt we lost a great talent. I don't know if some of you remember Saro Pretorius. He used to play for the Cheetahs. Now that man was another outstanding scrum half. In fact, I rated him the best in the country. He won Super Rugby Player of the Year, I think 2 years in a row. Didn't make the Springbok side. So what does he do? He goes overseas. He wanted an opportunity but didn't get it. And that I blame Heineke Meyer for, because he never selected him. They kept going to Ruan Pienaar, another player, but however he had the opportunities, but then he went to Ulster. So him on the other hand, I look at a different situation, because he got the opportunities, and is in his peak time of the career he went overseas. Yes, they could say, a lot of players inflicting, but at that time we didn't have many players of colour that were scrum halves, besides Ricky January. So he always had an opportunity. So for him, I look at going overseas for money. Brian Amana, he played his career. He'd done his time. I know he still talks of that he wanted to play another time and all that stuff, but he left. So for him, I don't see it being a problem. So there's so many opinions and ways where this can go. If we look at overseas, I think it's also quite a factor, especially in France. I've heard it from a lot of you guys as well. France, the French Rugby Union, they've got tons of great players. But all those players want to play in the Pro 14 because that's where the money is. That's where they're getting the opportunities. That's where they're playing a lot of rugby. So they decide to go there. Let's change to another sporting code. IPL in cricket. A lot of the players want to play IPL because of the money. So they're missing out. Coal pack deals in England. Coal pack deal is what South Africa put in place. If a cricketer goes overseas to play in England, they can't come back. Done. They're done with Proteas. So a lot of them go because, again, they don't see opportunities, but some go because the money's better. So that's where I asked the question, how many of the players who play sport today are playing because they want to wear the green and gold on their jersey, or have the all black emblem on their jersey, or have the wallaby? How many are doing that? The English rose. That for me is sad that we're losing it. And it all comes down to the rugby, the sporting bringing up the youngsters, implementing rugby sport in school, because that at the end of the day is so important. If you look at a kid with ADD or some learning problems, sport can help change them. Sport can help distract them. Sport can help develop them physically, mentally, and teach them so much. And that's why it's important to have sport. If we look at New Zealand, they're a great example. And why I say that is because the way the rugby players are developed, the traditions, the hackers, in all schools, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the club rugby, bringing that so well done. Then we get to provincial and international. So now for us, transformation was never done properly. So now we're having a situation where players are just fleeing the country, either to play for money or because they feel they don't have an opportunity to play for their country, play for South Africa. So that I understand. But what gets me is when players just go over for money. It's sad because for me, I would dream of wearing a Springbok jersey or a Protea jersey to play cricket. And that tradition and that build-up and dream needs to come back. Because that, I feel, is what we are missing in today's sporting generation. Some of it you can see it, but some of it you don't. You don't see the pride, the emotion, and that needs to come back. If that comes back, South African rugby will bounce back. But until that's done, or until something's done to stop these situations, it's SARU bringing a situation where those players can actually still play for their country. Maybe that might be the answer. But something needs to be done because such talented sports stars are missing out on the opportunity to play for their country because of systems that are in place that aren't run well. And for me, that needs to change. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you feel if a player goes overseas to play for money, should they still be allowed to play for their country? What are your thoughts on this? If a player still goes overseas to play for money, should they be allowed? But if a player just hasn't had the opportunity, then obviously I think you will agree with me that they must go overseas and play because they want to play the sport. They want to continue playing because they love the sport. Interesting topic that I just wanted to chat about today. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was just another topic as we build up for the Six Nations and Super Rugby coming up. So again, any topics from you guys, let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll get back to you guys for another video real soon. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and make sure you're up to date. Turn on that bell icon so you can always see when I'm uploading a new video. Guys, have a great week, stay safe, and never give up. Cheers.